All right. And we're live. Hello, everyone, and shout out to each and every one of you. And thank you guys so much for tuning in to your girl, Sighren, right here on the Sighren Speak Show. Hello. Hey to each and every one of you, you guys. Thank you to each and every one of you who come in and give this video a big old fat thumbs up, because you know your girl appreciate it. Y'all reached out and you guys asked if we can, go live and talk about health as well as weight loss is what it is that you guys wanted to talk about. If ever there is any specific topic, you guys, make sure you just put it in the comment section of the post on the community section, and I'll definitely get to it, and I will make sure that I put it on a list to discuss on the next live or put it in a list accordingly. Okay. So yes, y'all, I am so excited to be here. I'm so excited to talk about this topic. We're going to get more into health, you guys. Don't forget, if you have your questions, you can put them in the comment section if you catch this on the replay, or if you are live with your girl right now as we speak, y'all can make sure y'all put your comments in the chat, and we will definitely get to it. So shout out to y'all, honey. We're going to get talking about health. That's the topic y'all wanted. I ask y'all all the time, what do you want to talk about? And y'all said we want to talk about health. Okay. So, and I know I play with my hair a lot, y'all, but it's just something about it touching my ears that I don't like. I do not like hair to touch my ears. I got to work on that though. Hey to everyone who's tuned up into, hey y'all. Shout out to each and every one of you. Y'all don't forget to say hello as you come into the building. And don't forget to make a splash, honey, okay? Make a splash, put some mermaids up and through. You guys put some diamonds up and through. Let me know you up in here with your girl, all right? We did talk briefly on the last live, you guys, about how to find your tribe, okay? Today we're going to talk about level up health, okay, so that you can become wealthy. A lot of us want to become wealthy, okay? But there is something we need to do as far as our health is concerned in order for us to obtain that wealth, y'all. So we are also going to be talking about weight loss. Y'all want to hear about weight loss? Why? What are y'all doing? Put in the comment section what it is that y'all doing, okay? If you have a weight loss goal, what is it? How many pounds are you trying to lose? Why are you trying to lose weight? I want to see where it is that you guys are coming from when it comes to this particular subject. Like, why is it that you guys want to lose weight? Because before you do something, we have to have a goal. We have to know why we're doing it. So we definitely want to know why it is that you guys want to lose weight. How much weight is it that you're trying to lose? Do you have a goal? Do you have a strategy? Okay. Let me see. Hold on. Shout out to y'all. Yeah, I don't know how to do any of this stuff, okay, over here in the chat. But okay, we did that. Okay. So y'all just excusez-moi. Hey to everyone. Thank you guys, like I said, for coming in, giving this video a big old fat thumbs up. And thank you to everyone who do come in and give this video a big old fat thumbs up. All right, so let's go ahead and get started on the topic of the day, you guys, which we're talking about health. That's the first thing that you guys wanted to discuss. When it comes to health, okay, especially those of us who are women, and then we have the men as well, but mainly, my expertise, okay, comes from the women, the feminine aspect of health, okay? You guys didn't put any specific areas of health that you wanted to discuss. So we're just going to do an overall general discussion when it comes to health. And I think that one of the main things when it comes to health is eating. What we eat, how we eat, where we eat. Okay. That right there, you guys, is kind of like your body is your vehicle. And the food is the type of gas you put inside of it. If you put the right gas in the car, it will run correctly, right? But if you put the wrong gas in the car, it's not going to work right. A lot of the health issues that we experience, you guys, are not because they're generational. I know a lot of people say, well, my aunt had cancer, my grandma had cancer, my grandma's sister had it, all of them had breast cancer, so it runs in the family. Cancer does not run in the family. What runs in the family is the generational habits. Maybe your grandma had a recipe and your aunt cooked it. It was a family recipe. We're still eating the same. My grandma ate pork, so I'm going to eat pork. Why is it that only certain people in a family will, let's say, get cancer. Let's say if the auntie, the uncle, the grandmother, like those are the only ones that get it, but it runs in the family. Why is it that they are the ones that get it? That's what we need to look. If it runs in the family, everybody would have it. Everybody in the family would have it, okay? So we need to look at that right there. What is it about these people that are in the family that they ended up getting cancer and everybody else didn't, okay? It's your eating habits. I tell you guys, we all have different blood types. Even you as a mother, your kids perhaps have a different blood type from you, okay? Which means you may be able to eat chicken, right? You can fry all the chicken. You can cook chicken from the rooter to the tutor. You can make turkey necks. You can make chicken wings. You can make every part of the bird and you can eat it. But what happens is you may give birth to a child who has a different blood type that's not good for chicken, is not good for that blood type. So what happens is that cancer that runs in the family, it skips you, but then your child may end up with it. Okay, because now it's all about the way that we eat, you guys. We have to learn how to understand our body. We need the manual, okay, for our body. We really, truly do. We need the manual as to how to make our body run the best that we can make it. There are people out here that are almost over 100 and some years old and has no dis-ease within the body. No disease within the body whatsoever. So we have to make sure that we learn about the body. We have to make sure that we're eating according to our blood type. We need to know our blood type. There is a reason as to why we all have a different or a blood type. There's a reason to it. So once you get your blood type and you understand how to eat for your blood type, you can save yourself medicine right there. When I started to eat according to my blood type, I noticed a lot of different health issues that I had automatically started to dissipate. They automatically started to just, I didn't experience them anymore. At one point, I was, experiencing a lot of edema. For those of you who watch my vlogs, you will see my experience with going back and forth to the doctor, experiencing a lot of edema and not understanding why. And I kept going to the doctor asking for answers and they just were not giving me the answers that I needed. It was just like, well, I think they told me gravity. It all narrowed down to gravity. So it wasn't gravity, you guys. It was things that I was consuming that was causing my body to maintain and hold water because I was putting things inside of my body, that were not supposed to be inside of there. And the minute you continue, you realize that, like I say, you will save yourself a lot of medication, a lot of doctor's visits and things of that nature. Now, we know this is a society where, they want to make that coin. Okay. They want to make that coin. They're going to do whatever it is that they have to do to make that coin. And you got to become the doctor. We no longer can expect them to do all the work because they have to get people in and out. When you get in the doctor's office nowadays, to me, as per my experience, when I go to the doctor's office, nowadays, the experience is not as intimate as it used to be when I was younger. The doctor don't ask questions, if they ask like a list of questions that are presented to them, that are probably board certified or something, but they ask like a list of questions, but they don't ask you specific questions about your situation. There was a time where I went to the doctor and the doctor told me I was overweight. Okay, y'all know your girl is thickalicious. It is what it is, right? So the doctor said that you're overweight. I'm concerned about your weight because at that point I had got up to maybe like 215, right? And the doctor said, I want to prescribe you Ozempic. And you guys, at that point, that's when I knew that my doctor, I'm not going to say all doctors, that's when I knew that my doctor was not listening to me or paying attention to me, right? The reason I say that is because for years, I told you guys back in maybe, I don't know how long, y'all, it had to be over 20 years ago. I was diagnosed with an overactive thyroid. Okay, I think they call it hyperthyroidism, right? To the point where they told me the next option was for me to get surgery to cut my thyroid out and to put me on lifelong medicine, right? So This was in my medical records for years. When they put one thing in your medical record, trust me, all the doctors see it. I don't care what doctor you go to after that, they're going to see it because the history of it follows you. And they do that for a reason, because you have some people who can become addicted to certain medications. So they need to know that you're not going to multiple doctors trying to get, certain prescriptions and things of that nature, right? And then you also have the surgery side of it where, if you have surgery, they have to make sure, especially plastic surgery, they're going to record every surgery that you have because they want to see if you're becoming habitual with it, right? So you'll get doctors that will turn you away to say, you just had surgery, 2 years ago, you just had this, you just had that. So they push forward all of your doctor's notes, right? So I'm saying to myself, okay, I've been going to the same doctor for about 7 years. They are very much so aware that I had a goiter. Okay. It was an enlarged thyroid gland. Okay. So I had a goiter, you guys. And fortunately for me, I had just so happened to see a ad or something. I don't know how, y'all, it's honestly the grace of God. I can't take this out of nowhere but God. Okay. I can't take this away from God. I ain't gonna lie. But I just so happened to see how, what is it called? Not Wegovy, or you know what I'm saying? The Ozempic. Okay. I guess they have different names for the GLP-1. I don't know what it is, but it was Ozempic at that point, right? I just so happened to see an ad, something popped up in my phone, and it was talking about how Ozempic, people who have thyroid issues should not take Ozempic because Ozempic can trigger the thyroid, and it will, it can cause superior health issues, which can possibly lead to cancer in the thyroid. Ozempic, allegedly, and not really allegedly because it has been documented, can trigger thyroid cancer if you have either a hyper or hypothyroidism. So people with thyroid issues should not take Ozempic. Now, this has been documented, you guys. I read it. Now, I did not know I was, I know I'm a little thick girl. But when I went to my doctor's appointment, I wasn't expecting them to tell me, hey, you need to lose weight. I really feel like they were just pushing Ozempic on everybody at that time, because when I went in there, I'm just going for a regular checkup, like tell me if anything is going on, check my numbers, let me know what's up. So the doctor, she sits me down and she says, oh, your weight, when they weighed you today, I just really feel like your weight is a little, high. We really need to get your weight down and things of that nature. She was like, I'm going to prescribe you Ozempic. But she said it as if she was gifting me a prize. Like I should be grateful, that she was prescribing me Ozempic. And I'm just like, and I said, Doc, did you look at my chart? And she says, no, why? What's going on with your chart? And I'm like, thyroid issues. And she looks and she says, oh, you're right. Then we can't give you Ozempic. It was like, wait, hold up. Like, wait a minute. Am I just really another ass in the seat for you? Like, you could have given me a medical issue here. Had I not known that, you guys, because she was already we're writing you a prescription for Ozempic. She was already putting me on Ozempic. And if I would have never said anything, if I would have never known that, I would have been taking that to lose weight, because she's telling me now you need to get your weight down. So I would have been taking that to lose weight, but it would have possibly caused a bigger situation, something I couldn't lose or get rid of as easily. So y'all have to become your own doctors, okay? You're going to have to know things. You're going to have to really do the research. If you're experiencing things, or especially if you know something runs in your family, then you definitely want to make sure that you get your blood type and you do your research. The first sign to better health is getting your blood type and eating according to your blood type. You will be surprised at how many things you are allergic to and you don't even know it. The reason you get bloated after you eat, that is a sign that you are consuming something that you should not be eating. If you have gas, you guys, having gas, we think, oh, that's just the body doing its thing. It's not normal. That's a text message from your body, like, boop, 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 boop. Hey, you're putting something in here that shouldn't be in here. The minute your body has a response to food, any type of food, whatever it may be, then you need to know that you're putting something wrong in your body. Okay? Let me see if you guys have any questions, y'all. I don't know how to remove this thing. I mean, in the chat, like I don't see anything in the chat, so I don't know if you guys are, let me see, saying anything because I can't see the chat. I don't know why. All right, let's see. Okay, maybe that'll be it. I don't know. But so yes, definitely making sure that you stay on top of your blood type, you guys. And like I said, it's something that they're not telling us in the future. They're not going to tell you at all what your blood type is. Okay. So you definitely want to make sure that you get in the know. And if you have any children, you want to make sure that you research the blood type of your children so that you can be feeding your kids, okay, according to their blood type, so that these kids are not experiencing issues. A lot of us, the issues that we're having with our kids, especially when our kids turn out to be, you know, a little rude, or, you know, they need discipline, you know, or maybe they are ADHD or whatever it is, even from birth. Okay, with us feeding our kids formula, okay, with us feeding our kids formula and, you know, all type of things and milk that comes from an animal, you know, you are human. The baby is human. I feel that's the breast milk, or that's the milk they should be consuming, and we shouldn't be giving them a formula or a milk that comes from a dang on animal, an animal outside of itself. So, you know, there are things that we do, you guys, that we must learn from in order to, you know, get better health and things of that nature. So I always tell you guys, knowing your blood type is one of the most important things that you can do as far as getting to better health. Okay, that's physically. All right. And making necessary lifestyle changes. You guys know I'm always talking about making lifestyle changes. That is something that worked for me. Okay. Because I was not happy with the diets and the fast. I did all of that, y'all. Okay. I did that so much that none of the diet pills work for me no more. Okay. Because I was constantly on somebody's diet. But it was the ping pong. It was the yo-yo dieting, you know, gain weight, lose weight, gain weight, lose weight. So I got to a point where I wanted to get to a healthier weight, but I wanted to sustain it. I didn't want to go back to eating, and next thing you know, here come 50 pounds again. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wanted to be able to make changes in my life to where, all right, I done lost these 10 pounds and it's going down and it's not coming back up because I'm still eating and doing the same things that I've been doing. So that's why I say it's important that you make lifestyle changes as opposed to doing some sort of a diet. What are some lifestyle changes, you guys, that you can do, right? I would say definitely making sure you move your body, y'all. We are too still all the time. We're too still too much, okay? Dis-ease settles in the body as we are still. So the more we be still, I used to have a desk job when I was working in corporate America. Okay, before I resigned from corporate America, I had a desk job, y'all. I used to sit at my desk all day long. Okay, I had to answer emails. I had to, you know, check people in. I was doing benefits administration, payroll, HR. I did it all. Okay, I was that girl who really ran the office. Okay. So I was always in my office and, you know, responding to emails. And then I had to process payroll, and I had to process, you know, changes to people's paycheck. You know, they're like, oh, I want to add a kid. I want to change my insurance, you know. So I was constantly sitting down a lot, you guys. And that's when I noticed I started to have health issues. I started to have, you know, certain pains and things in my body that I couldn't explain. And when I would go to the doctor, they couldn't tell me, you know, that they found anything wrong when they would run my blood panels and things of that nature. So I'm just like, well, what's going on with me? And it was just the fact that I wasn't moving my body enough. So you guys need to make sure that you get up every day. Okay. And you find some time to move your body. You can't just say, all right, I'm going to go to Target and that's moving my body. You need at least 30 minutes of consecutive movement, at least 30 minutes a day. Like, give yourself that. Make that your self-love. okay, routine. Part of your self-love routine is to give yourself 30 minutes a day. I don't care if you walk back and forth on your block, okay? Put the phone down while you're doing it. I know some people go say, oh, I want to listen to some music. We have to learn to not only move our body, but we want to move our mind. So for as long as you're looking at your phone, okay, long as you're engaging in something else, you are not using your mind. You want your mind and you want your body to run like a good old oiled machine, okay? Otherwise, we become stuck and we become complacent. And however we are on the inside, that's what our life is going to be like on the outside. So you want to promise yourself, okay, 30 minutes a day. I don't care how you find it, right? But I want you to look deep inside and find 30 minutes a day for you to go ahead and get some steps, like move your body, step, walk, okay? From one end of your block to the next, go to a park, go to anywhere where you're not distracted, okay? Let me see if you guys have any questions, y'all. Hold on, okay? Hold on. Anybody have any questions or anything y'all want to add to the chat, honey? Okay, because I'm not seeing any of the comments. Can somebody say something so we can make sure that they coming up? Because I don't see anything, y'all. I don't know how to. Okay. All right. So, all right, here we go. So we definitely want to make sure, like I said, that we are moving the body. Okay. We want to make sure that what happens is once we start to move the body, if there's anything unsettling inside of you, especially we have things called parasites. Okay. We have parasites and we have, all other type of bacteria, okay, that can come from, you have E. coli, you know, you have, oh God, I can't even think of the name of the other ones, but you have all of these different bacteria and parasites that reside within the body, and they like when you sit still. This is why you notice you will get in front of Netflix and chill all day. You know what I'm saying? You will get in front of Netflix and you will chill all day. All right. And that's why they present it to us that way, Netflix and chill, or we get on our YouTube or we get on our Instagram, and next thing you know, hours pass by, y'all. And it's just like, you know, we haven't even moved our body. We haven't done anything at all. This is what dis-ease likes. Dis-ease does not like for you to move. It doesn't like for you to do any type of movement. It can settle when you be still. Okay, so we definitely want to make sure part of our self-love routine, you guys, okay, for this week is every day. And I would say at least 6 days, honestly. I'm not even going to let you get away with 5. 6 days a week. You can give yourself 1 day off, 1 day of rest, okay, where you just like, all right, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and, you know, rest today, right? But this is just walking. You don't have to walk fast, and you definitely do not have to run. You just want to move your body. If you feel like, you know, you can go work out, you can do like a nice little workout routine or whatever. Y'all, listen, they have some great, you know, things on YouTube, some of the workout videos and stuff. If you feel like you can't leave your home, then you can put on a nice little 20-minute, you know, YouTube where you just, you know, lifting your arms, or you just, you know, whatever it is you got to do. But you want to move that body. You have to break up the stagnancy that is inside of the body so that these parasites will become uncomfortable. A lot of us, we're creating the perfect home for them. We're already not putting the right foods in our body. We're already not hydrated enough. And then with us sitting still, they are in heaven. You are giving them a 6-star hotel visit, which is inside of your body, where they are experiencing life more than you. Okay, so we definitely want to, you know, start moving our body. Next thing we want to do, you guys, is we want to start cutting out sugar. Now, what is sugar we're talking about? We're talking about processed sugar, okay? The sugar like Domino, okay? I don't want to say brands like that because, you know, then they're going to be like Sighren. But y'all know my gyms, you know, sometimes we going to make a splash, okay? So basically, we want to cut out sugar. Why? Because if we do take sugar, we need natural sugar, you guys. We have to get sugar from its original source, which is in a lot of fruit, okay? Fruit is going to give you a natural sugar, or you can go to the sugar section and you can find dried dates. Dates gives you some sugar. You can get sugar cane. Okay, but you want to cut out that fake artificial sugar. It is a man-made sugar. That is the sugar that cancer loves. Okay, it loves it. It is like Thanksgiving every day. 99% of the things that we eat and drink contains that type of sugar. So when we say, okay, I'm going to cut back on sugar, you can still consume sugar, but for as long as you consume sugar from a natural source, okay? Like I say, dates, right? You can do sugar cane, or you can do, like I say, natural fruits and things of that nature, you guys, long as it's coming from a natural source. Because what happens, the difference between the fake sugar, okay, which any sugar that doesn't come from a natural source is fake sugar. I don't care what brand name they put on it, Crystal. Okay, Domino, okay. I don't care what brand name they put on it. It is not original sugar. It is made in the lab. It is created. So they would take real sugar and say, okay, let's see if we can make this. And then they would make their version of it. And then what happens is when we put it inside of our body, that's like putting diesel in a car. It's not good for us, okay? So we have to make sure that we're consuming the right sugars. We're not saying you can't have sugar. You just need to get sugar from a natural source, because that's what your body is. It is a natural machine, okay? And we want to make sure that we're putting the right product, the right food inside of the body. All right. So some people would say, okay, I'm going to try the other sugar, okay? The one that come in a pink pack, y'all. What is it? It's the sugar-free stuff, the stevia and that type of stuff. Stay away from it, according to Sighren, okay? Stay away from the fake sugar, okay? Because you have the fake sugar that's like the Domino and Crystal and all of that, but then you have that stevia and stuff like that. There are products inside of that is fake, is man-made, and there are products inside of that as well that can cause cancer. All of this stuff you can research, and I always tell you guys, listen to Sighren, but do your own research. Okay, do your own research as well so that you can get as much information. There are some things that I'm probably not saying that you can find out, okay? But you want to stay away from sugar-free drinks. Majority of the sugar-free drinks, meaning we're not putting the real sugar. We're putting stevia, which is a man-made fake sugar substitute, which is just as harmful to the body as anything else that contains that fake sugar. Okay, so we don't want to drink, zero sugar sodas, and we want to, I'm going to stay away from sugar, so I'm going to drink, Coke Zero or Sprite Zero it's horrible. It is literally feeding any cancer cells that may be within you. Now, if we're talking about cancer cells, y'all, now this is just Sighren speaking on the Sighren Speak show right here when I say this little part right here, okay? This is how smart your body is. When your body discovers, let's say, dis-ease, or when your body discovers bacteria and infection, what it does is it grabs all of it. It does this. It takes it all like a little tractor, right? And it digs it up, and then it creates a shell. It puts it in this little ball, and then it creates a shell. So the body your body does this naturally. It goes through your whole body and it creates these little tumors. That's what they call them, right? And inside of that tumor, it's your body protecting itself, okay? It's your body saying, okay, listen, I have all of this bacteria. Let me clean up. Your body has its own cleaning mechanism. And let me put all of this inside of this little cocoon, which they call a tumor, okay? So now that we have this little tumor, and we have probably a whole bunch of them, y'all, I ain't gonna lie, okay? We probably have a whole bunch of them all throughout, but some of them may be cancerous, some of them may not be, right? So what happens is, let's say you go to the doctor, right? And let's say that little cocoon that it created, maybe your body located some cancerous type of energy, and it decided to clean it up and put it inside of this little shell, right? Which they call a tumor. So now you go and you get a CAT scan or MRI and they say, oh my God, we see tumors, right? So the first thing they're going to do, they're going to take a knife and they're going to cut it open, and they're going to call it a biopsy. And they're going to cut it open. So everything your body went through and cleaned up, they just cut it open and spilled everything back into your body. Okay? Everything is spilled back into your body, and they'll just scrape up what they can. But now all of the bacteria and the parasites and the dis-ease, whatever it was, if there were cancerous energies up in there, they just spilled it right back into the body. So now that's why I say, you guys, we just have to be educated on some things, because the body does what it needs to do naturally. Okay? It really, truly does. When we're feeding our body the wrong things, this is what everything comes from as far as dis-ease within the body. If you put diesel in your car, it's going to it's going to crank off. It's going to go down. So when we're putting the wrong foods inside of our body, we're experiencing the exact same thing. Okay, your body is going to start to break down, but your body will fight for itself. Your body will defend itself, and it will constantly clean up whatever parasite is going to trap them. That's what tumors are. It's not that they're, it's your body's own defense mechanism, that it will clean it all up and store it inside of a shell. Okay. And yes, some of it may not be the best. Like I said, some of that stuff inside of there may be cancerous, you guys. It may be. But the process to remove it by cutting it open and spilling everything back into the body may not be the best thing to do. So what you want to do is, like I said, you got to change the way you eat. You keep feeding that cancer, or you keep feeding that parasite, or you keep feeding that bacteria, okay? Or you keep feeding that E. coli. You keep feeding all of these worms and tapeworms. The more you feed them, the more that they grow inside of you, the more that they will take over your body. And then we start to experience different things within the body, like different pains. And, we start having mood swings. And then, we start feeling bloated, and, we start gaining weight. We get the puffy face, we get the puffy fingers, after you eat certain things, you can't even wear your ring anymore. You got to take it off and things of that nature. That's not normal, you guys. That don't mean that, well, yes, you can go to the doctor. I'm not saying that is a telltale sign you need to go get checked out. Yes, always go to the doctor. You guys know I'm always saying go to the doctor, but that is a telltale sign that you're doing something to your body that you don't need to do. So we definitely need to watch what it is that we eat so that our body can stay on top of itself. This thing is a miracle, okay? This thing is a miracle. It can do major things if you just treat it right and you keep it in the best condition, okay? Another thing that we want to do, you guys, to maintain our health is we want to stay hydrated. I don't care how much water. You guys have seen on my vlogs how I'm drinking a lot of water, right? I drink so much water. I used to drink so much water, you guys, it started to spill in my body and I started to swell up, right? And I had water, excess water all throughout my body. So when we're drinking water, you guys, unfortunately, the water that we drink, the bottled water, no matter how much you pay for it, okay? I always tell you, pick the least poison, okay? But the water that we drink, you guys, is not fully the water that we need, okay? We need something called H3O, okay? And we get H2O from the bottled water, which means there's something missing in it. That's why you can drink a lot of water. You ever notice, I don't know, for those of you, if you have ever done like a water fast for 3 days, you get dehydrated. You're like, I'm drinking water, but you feel thirsty, right? It's because the water that we're drinking in the water bottles are not the actual match to the water that is within our body. You know how they tell us that we're made out of 60, 70, 80% water? Yeah, well, it's not that water. Okay, that water is kind of like a man-made version. I don't care how you get it. Okay, we can get H3O, or we can get the water that we need from actual plants and fruits and vegetables. Things like celery, things like cucumber, things like watermelon. Those have the actual natural water that matches the water within our body. So this is why you can eat watermelon and you can feel hydrated. If you're somebody who eats watermelon and you go to the doctor and they say, okay, you're hydrated, but you have somebody who drinks a whole bunch of water and they'll tell them you're dehydrated. And they're like, what? I drink a lot of water. I don't get it. But what is it that they're not telling you? You're not taking in the right amount of water. The H2O that we drink from our bottled water, it is missing the electrolytes, okay? Some of it, allegedly. I'm just joking. This is all for entertainment purposes. So, y'all, they be coming for your girl. Listen, I'll show y'all eventually where my real issues come at, okay? But when I talk to y'all like this, honey, listen, they will stop the live on me. But anywho, we're going to keep it going. So we definitely need to make sure that we include the electrolytes, okay? In our consumption of water, we need H3O, okay? So you can eat, like I say, celery, watermelon, things that contain a lot of water inside of them. A lot of our melons have a lot of water inside of it, natural water, you guys, that we need to consume. So especially for us, we need that water in our body, you guys, so that it can help our body to successfully fight off infection, so that our body can be watered, you know what I'm saying? It can be energized, and we need to make sure we have those electrolytes that are going to give us what it is that, you know, we need to sustain a healthy body. So you can drink things like Gatorade. Now, when it comes to Gatorade, I would definitely say Gatorade for me, it's the one, I go to Gator Light, you know, or Gatorade. But what I'm going to tell you, when you're drinking Gatorade, you want to drink the white one, the clearest one that you can get. Or if you can find a natural electrolyte, you know, a drink that is clear. You don't want to get the Gatorade red. You don't want to get the purple. You don't want to get the blue, because it goes against everything that you're trying to do if it includes dye, okay? Or the color, the red, you know, and blue and all of that stuff. You don't want the color, right? So we want to not put that inside of our body, because that dye then goes into our organs, and now your body has something else that it cannot process or get rid of, okay? So you want to drink it clear. There are some people out there who actually make like a natural electrolyte water. You can do that. But there's the science of that is just, it's very strict. It's very strict, and it's kind of hard to get natural stuff like, you know, magnesium or potassium or sodium and things of that nature. Of course, you can get a sprinkle of salt, put you some magnesium in your water and some potassium and things in your water. But now you got to see which version of magnesium, okay, that you need to get, because there's multiple versions of magnesium. There's multiple versions of potassium. So are you using the right one? So there's a lot of research that goes into it that way. That's why I say just stick with like a Gatorade or, you know, any other type of electrolyte drink, okay? Let me see what you guys are saying. Hey, everyone. Brandy, you say we are listening. Ew. Shout out to y'all. Hey, to love more. Hey, hun. Hey, y'all. Hey, love yourself. Hey, girl, is that a sure? Girl, I don't know, but I'm gonna mess that one up. You say good info. Thank you. Great conversation. Oh, shout out to y'all. Look at y'all. Dis-ease, period. Okay. Dis-ease, meaning your body can easily maneuver, but when we put the wrong things in it, it causes dis-ease. Okay. That's where disease come from. It's not like it's just something that's hereditary. No, it's dis-ease because we're putting things in the body that shouldn't be in there. Splenda and all of those chemically based sugars. Yes, that's what it was. I was trying to think of was, yes, y'all listen, all of that sugar free thing, anything that says sugar free, you want to make sure that it does not have any alternative sugar source, okay? Because 9 times out of 10, it doesn't have that sugar, but it has this sugar, okay? So you want to make sure that it says 0 sugar at all, none whatsoever, so it don't taste sweet at all. All right. Hey, Planet Mimi TV. Ew. Okay, you said sparkles for 2 jewels. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know what that means, but okay. Y'all help me out with that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank y'all. Brandy says, hey, Planet. Y'all, the planet is up in the building, y'all. Y'all, listen, we ain't gonna go that deep with it. But yes, honey, your girl is I stay in airplane mode, y'all. I love it. I love the meteorites. Remember I referred to y'all as the meteoroids? That was so, well, I didn't say it. I typed it out and it populated meteoroids. But I was thinking and saying meteorites. Shout out to y'all and thank y'all so much, man. You guys have definitely been like a pleasure. Okay, thank y'all. Hey to the planet, y'all. Shout out to y'all. All right. Yep, my doctor told me too much of the wrong water flushes out your electrolytes. It does, y'all. It does. We definitely need to make sure that not only are we drinking water, bottled water, but we definitely need fruit. Okay, you need to get water from natural sources. Try to eat some celery. Okay, it may not be that the best to eat, but try to consume some celery, some watermelon. Now listen, when we are talking about fruits and things of that nature, you have cantaloupe, you have your melons and things of that nature to get your water. Please, you guys, please choose the seeded version of the fruit. Now, when it comes to, when you go to the grocery store, they have these little stickers on the fruit, right? And it has little numbers on them. Okay. And you need to know what those numbers mean, because some of those numbers mean this is a hybrid fruit, or it's GMO, you know, it's made in a lab, or it's made from fake seeds. It's not made from a real seed. It's made from a lab grown seed. You want to stay away from that fruit right there, because that's not a fruit that has what we need. Okay. So you want to make sure when you go to the grocery store, there are certain fruit that starts like with the number 3. It'll have like 3693. It has 4 numbers on it, right? If it starts with the number 3, that is a sign that that fruit is made from a GMO seed. It's not like, you know, it's not real fruit. Let's just put it that way. Okay. I don't even know how else to say it. It's GMO, meaning genetically modified. It is not from, it's not a real lime or lemon or watermelon. You really kind of want to stay, I do. Okay. Then you have some fruit that they start with the number 4. Okay. It means that those fruit have probably a real seed, but they have been planted inside of, let's say, a soil that's not the best. The soil that they were grown in possibly have chemicals. It's a heavily chemicalized soil that these fruit have been grown in. Maybe it's an original seed, but it also has been sprayed with pesticides, heavy, okay, pesticides. Now, when you go to the grocery store and you see the fruit that starts with the number 9, now the ones that start with the number 9, typically they're like 5 digits long. Okay, so when you go and you buy those fruit right there, those are supposed to be the organic, meaning it's a real seed. It was grown in, you know, real soil, and it may have been sprayed with pesticides, but, you know, nothing too crazy. Okay, so that's where you will go and see a watermelon that has the black seeds in it, but you will have to clean it. You know what I'm saying? And everything, or you may see an apple that has actual seeds in it. But you have to, you know, you have to do your cleaning. So you want to make sure that we're teaching you now how to grocery shop, not just for yourself, for your children, and for your significant others. Okay. We want to know what it is, because they put everything right in front of our face. We just have to make sure that we do our own due diligence and we understand what it is that they're saying, because, you know, they speak to us in code, right? So what you want to look for, you want to look for the most real, natural fruit. Okay. A lot of the fruit that we get, you guys, it's cut up already and it's in little packages. They present it to you all pretty. I would say pause. Okay. This is just Sighren speaking on the Sighren Speak show, because you don't know where those fruit come from. You look for the seed. You always want to look for the seed, especially us as humans. Okay. When they say you are what you eat, if you're eating things that are seedless, this is why it is hard for us to bear fruit. It's hard for us to grow. It's hard for us to manifest our dreams. It's hard for us to, you know, get out of check to check. It's hard for us to really get to the next level, because they're making us seedless. Okay. They're making us seedless. They're turning us into energies that cannot produce or reproduce. And that's not good. A lot of us are infertile, and we think it's something wrong with us. Change your diet. I tell you that right there. Okay. A lot of our men are not able to, you know, impregnate us. Change his diet. We're going to get on that too. Okay. Change his diet. Not only do you want to make sure you're eating healthy, you want to make sure the man that lays next to you, the man that inserts inside of you is eating healthy as well, because it doesn't make any sense for you to eat healthy, but then you got his energy where he is very defective and his energy is seedless, which means it will cancel out everything you're doing for your own health. Which will be why we will inherit all type of other issues in our VIP area. Up in our garden, it ain't growing nothing up in there. Everything is weird, okay? So, we definitely want to make sure, you guys, that we stay on top of what it is that we eat. Like I said, when you go to the grocery store, you want to know how to grocery shop. You want to make sure when you go to the grocery store, one, you're not hungry, okay, y'all? Let's make that a thing. We will not go to the grocery store hungry. Because when we hungry, something happens chemically up here to where we don't give a it's all going in the cart, okay? We already know that, okay? So we don't want to grocery shop when we are hungry, okay? That's first. Now, once we get up in there, remember, we're going to look for those numbers when it comes to the fruit. You want to grocery shop for things that are going to help your body to heal. Your body heal itself. It is smart. We're making it dumb. We're dumbing it down, okay? You will be surprised when they say Jesus did it. That's why, because Jesus knew how to eat. Jesus knew exactly what to do. Jesus did not fall for the okie doke, okay? And that's why they was mad at Jesus, because Jesus knew, right? So what we want to do is when we go to the grocery store, you guys, you want to make sure that you plan a grocery trip when you have time. Okay, do not go to the grocery store when you only got 20 minutes. You on your way home. Listen, make time to go to the grocery store, you guys, because this is how you're going to heal yourself. You need to take time to, first of all, a lot of these grocery foods that are pushed before us, you see them right there in the front. You want to take time to try something different. Okay, Tyler, baby, come here. Bring me the thing out the refrigerator. So I'm going to show you guys. All right. You want to take time to find something different, meaning there are certain foods, okay, certain companies that are pushed before us when it comes to cereal, like Kellogg's. Bring me that relish out of the refrigerator. Like Kellogg's, okay, like Post, all right, like all of those brands that are, you see it right there, that are pushed. It's in a jar, it's cut up, yeah, that are pushed before us. Now, I was eating Heinz for a while. And I went and I got this one here, which is called, okay, Dill Dixie. You see dill relish. And you see what it says here? It says family owned and operated since 1926. Okay. Honestly, y'all, you want to try to go with other brands. Okay. Because like I said, I was messing with Heinz. And when I decided to turn the bottle over, I was like, I need to file a lawsuit. I need to find, and they put sweet relish, and what do they use? They use that sugar. Okay, so you're thinking, oh, this is just cut up pickles, but it's that sugar, okay, that is inside of it. So you definitely want to make sure when you go to the grocery store, you have time to turn those packages over, turn those boxes over. If you cannot pronounce it, don't buy it. When those ingredients say colecotamidoxanide, put it back immediately. If you cannot spell it in a spelling bee, then put it back. And you keep going until you get something that say sugar, flour, butter, you know what I'm saying? Like things like that, potatoes. That's what you want on the back of your product, stuff that you can pronounce. When you see red dye, when you see hydrogenolide and peroxide and all of that stuff, you guys, we want to definitely make sure that we are staying and sticking with items that are very natural, okay? Very, very, very natural. So you want to go to the grocery store and you want to learn how to grocery shop. So 2 things we're going to do this week, okay? 2 things that you guys can do before the next live, which will be Monday. 1 is go to the grocery store, okay, regardless of your budget. I don't care if it's $20. I don't care if it's $200. I don't care what the budget is. But I want you to go to the grocery store and I want you to find 2 all-natural products that you're going to transfer to. So maybe you used to use Heinz mustard, okay? You look at the back and see all that stuff that's in it. Yellow. No, you want to get something that uses something like turmeric to create the color yellow in the mustard. You know what I'm saying? Turmeric for coloring. We don't want red or yellow color You know what I'm saying? So I want you to find 2 staple products that you always use in your house. And I want you to find 2 healthy alternatives, one for each, okay? And you start buying that healthier brand, and that's what you're gonna put in your house. Even if it's your barbecue sauce, y'all have to read the back of these labels. You will be surprised. Now they have this new thing where they put a barcode. Y'all, this is how smart they get, because they know that we are, starting to wake up. You know what I'm saying? They understand that we're starting to wake up. So instead of them putting the ingredients on it, they're starting to put barcodes, which mean now you have to scan it with your phone in order to see the ingredients. Why would they do that? Okay, why would they do that? Let me see if they did it on here. They didn't do it on here. Oh yeah, see? So even on here, you see the barcode? There it is, y'all. Not the barcode, but the y'all know what I'm saying right here. Okay, they're starting to put those on there, so they'll say, well, we put the ingredients in there, because if people saying, hey, we're starting to get sick, we're eating this product, but it doesn't say what's in it. No, we put the ingredients on there. You have to scan that QR code, boop, and that'll tell you where the ingredients are. So a lot of them, y'all, they're finding ways, honey, because you just picking up stuff because a lot of us go by the brand name. We're so used to the brand name. Like I said, we're keeping things in the family. My mama used it. My grandma used it. My aunt used it. So I'm going to use it. Okay. So now they're putting things in the QR code. So what if, you get sick, you eating the product, you get sick, you go to the doctor tell you sick, right? And let's say now it's like the doctor says, oh, what are you eating? You say, oh, I'm eating this. And come to find out, you never scanned the QR code. You're like, well, I trusted it. I don't see anything bad, but how is it causing something to my health? And you scan the QR code and it says ingredients, rat poison. There's no way you can sue, because they put it right there in your face. You just needed to understand the lingo or the language as to how to find the knowledge. But they are hiding things right in front of our face. And a lot of these food items, they don't have what we need in them. They have some things that we don't need in them, you guys. So we have to be able to educate ourselves. We have to know how to grocery shop, okay? So I want you guys to change at least 2 of your staple items, at least 2. And when we come back next week, or y'all can put it in the group, in the chat, okay? What 2 items that you replace and what 2 items you replace them with, okay? So we definitely want to make sure that there's something that we do. Let me see what you guys are saying. Brandy, you say you have lupus? Oh, you listen. I don't like to get too deep, but when we start to do the deeper lives, you guys, like once we get into like the member only lives, I will go a lot deeper. I can only stay on the surface, you know what I'm saying, to the public. Okay. But the member-based lives, y'all, we will go a lot deeper because, when it comes to certain health issues that a lot of us have, granted, yes, the food is one factor, but there are other factors that can contribute towards a lot of things that we have. Just to give you an example, I pretty much guarantee anybody have knee issues. Okay. Anybody have knee problems, pain in the knee. This is just something simple and straight on the surface. Okay. 9 times out of 10, there's an issue with the father. Either the father wasn't there, a problem with the father, things of that nature. So there's an issue when it comes to stability, okay? Maybe you had to move a lot when you were younger. You didn't feel stable. Some people were adopted, had to go from foster home to foster home. But the absence of the father can contribute towards knee problems. So that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Okay. There are other factors in your life that can help you to understand why it is that you are experiencing these type of issues. So, definitely do a lot of research, Brandy. Okay, there's a lot of research that can come behind any autoimmune issues and things of that nature. None of it is a coincidence, and your body talks to you. All we need is the blueprint, okay, to the body. All Sighren need to do is help you to find a manual to your body, because my manual is different from yours, it's different from hers and his, okay? Because we're all we're made differently. You know what I'm saying? We have different blood types and things of that nature. So yeah, there's a lot that you can look into to really deal with that. I told you guys I had an overactive thyroid and they wanted to cut it 20 years ago. And there was a lot of things I had to find out about myself. There was a lot of things that I had to do Okay. Like I said, when I speak of these lifestyle changes, y'all, when I speak of going to the gym, when I speak of working out, when I speak of getting in nature and walking, these are all healing methods, you guys, that I was utilizing to get to the point where when I went to the doctors recently, they say, damn, your thyroid is healthy. Okay. No medication ever. No medication. But I'm going to tell you something. I just make it look good. I don't know why. But a lot of people think, oh, I'm just going to do it. I make it look good in some way, shape, or form, but it's not easy. And you're going to have to really challenge yourself, and you're going to have more faith than your mind can listen. You're going to have a lot of faith. You're going to have to believe in that nobody else believes in. You're going to have to listen to yourself. You're going to have to trust yourself. You're going to have to love yourself, and you're going to have to know God is right there the entire time. Okay? Because these doctors going to tell you some things, honey. They're going to say some things to you. You have other people that you may go to that may say some things to you that will go against everything. And God is telling you, listen, just walk with me. Walk in faith. This body is so powerful. It is so powerful. It heals itself. But if you know that, then there's a whole industry out there that will shut down. Okay? A whole industry out there that will shut down if you knew the truth, right? So, yes, things can get better for you, and I know they will. And we're sending you a lot of love over here. Hi, beautiful. Hey, Simply V. Hey, babe. You say in washing fruit real good is important. Vinegar, baking soda wash. Yes, that's what I use. I show you guys on my blogs how to clean your fruit. I show you, I take y'all everywhere. Listen, I used to wonder, just to go back into the little BS real quick, but I used to wonder, I'm like, why is it that people will take everything that I say and do, but they don't want to share me? I was like their little secret, I feel like I was just that little secret thing, you know what I'm saying? That they're like, ain't no way I could share this with the world. I'm keeping this all to myself. And a lot of people that I meet, they say that. They're like, I just don't want to share you, because a lot of people will refer people to me. I do counseling sessions. I do consultations. I do a lot of healing work for people, right? And when I work with them and I start to heal them and stuff, they really be like, no, I don't want, you're like, if I can shrink you and put you in my pocket, I would. So I always say that, like, why is it that no one wants to share me and put this out there? Y'all, I put all this stuff out there, in my blogs, okay? And remember, due to the circumstance of what I went through, that I, talked to you guys about, I deleted a lot of my vlogs. A lot of my vlogs from 2023, 2024, y'all haven't seen those because I just uploaded these vlogs last year. So I had to go back and upload a lot of them. I didn't know how to download the video. I didn't know I could do that. So I deleted a year and a half of vlogs, y'all, that y'all didn't see. Okay, they saw. But y'all didn't see a lot of those vlogs. I was giving y'all, I was on it. I was giving so much information, honey. I was giving so much knowledge about different foods and how to recognize this. And, I'm going to eventually getting to the point where I'm going to put those vlogs up. So you guys are going to, in probably a few weeks, maybe 2 weeks, y'all are going to start seeing, it's going to say throwback in front of the vlog. And I'm going to start putting those vlogs up for you guys to see, because those are, like I said, it's a year and a half of vlogs, y'all, that I just literally took down. You know what I'm saying? Because I was going to be done with YouTube. I was going to be done with this entire thing. But again, like I said, you got to have faith. And when God say, don't you stop, you bet not stop. Okay? When God say, don't you stop, I don't care how uncomfortable it is, you keep going. Okay. And I don't care, every step you take, there's a stone being thrown at you, you keep going. And that's with every aspect of your life, regardless. It is a lot of people think when you walk with God that it's fun, it's easy. Oh, won't it do it? Won't it do it? Listen, that is the hardest walk I have ever taken. Okay, the hardest walk. Do you guys know how many tears I had to shed just to do that expose video? I didn't want to hurt nobody. I didn't want to go against, I'm like, oh, God say, listen. Okay, listen. You got to move. And that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to go against some things. Everything around you is going to say one thing, and your heart and your soul is going to say something totally different. But you're going to have to trust that. You are really going to have to trust that. Okay. When I resigned from the workforce, you guys, listen, I woke up one day. I literally woke up one day because I was tired of work. I ain't gonna lie. I was frustrated. I was like, you know what, God, I just don't like going to this job. I'm so frustrated. I don't know what to do. I was never going to reach the salary that I wanted. I wanted to make 6 figures a year. I'm like, I want to make 6 figures. I used to process payroll, so I saw how much everybody was getting paid, right? And here I am sitting up in there. I'm just like, you know what? I ain't gonna make it. I didn't have a college degree. All I had was like, I studied and I, kind of self-taught myself. I used to go to the library and check out all the books that I wanted to take for my college courses because I dropped out. My first baby daddy, he committed the big C. Okay. And it just was like, I had to drop out of college. I had 2 kids to take care of, and, I just self-taught. I went to the library. Went down to write down all the books I needed for my courses and stuff like that. And I would go to the library and check them out. Yes, I did. And I studied, what I'm saying, on my own. But anywho, so I was able to get a decent job, but I would never get like, the maximum. And I'm like, with the field that I was in, the cap was like 78. Okay. And that was like after like 40 years of being there. You know what I'm saying? The cap was like 78. And I'm like, dang, I want to make 6 figures. Like, I would love to make 6 figures. Back then I'm thinking like, oh, that'd be a lot of money. I felt like I'd be balling, I'd be rich and stuff. Right. So God said, leave the job. Yeah, I woke up one morning and literally it was just like that. Leave the job. So I'm driving to work like, what's going on? Like, leave the job. As I'm working throughout the day, turning your resignation letter, I started seeing calendars. And it was like showing me the same date over and over and over and over again. And I said, oh my God. And I said, you know what? I'm going to resign from the workforce. And this is the date that I'm going to do it. So I went home and told my husband, now listen. My husband pays majority of the bills, but I do contribute towards the household, right? I contribute towards a lot of things in the household, like decorative things. I buy the grocery, I buy like little toiletries, you know what I'm saying? I'm making sure the house smell good, look good, any, things of that nature. So I was contributing towards the household as well, right? So I come home and I tell my husband, I say, hey, babe, I need to talk to you. Yeah, I think I'm going to resign. So he's thinking, oh, you got a new job? I said, no. So he was like, well, what you gonna do? I say, I don't know. I'm just gonna resign. I might start something of my own. And he just looked at me like, where is this coming from? I said, I'm just tired of going there. And it's just, I don't know. I just feel I need to resign. And I gave him the date. Now, I didn't know if my husband was going to stay and leave, y'all, because now all of a sudden everything is going to fall on him. So I was sacrificing a lot to, go with what my heart was saying. And he supported me. He said, well, if that's what you feel you need to do, if you feel like that's something that is going to be, good for you, then I'm going to support you. And every bill, I resigned on the date that, I said I was going to resign. I gave them a 3-month, as a matter of fact, I gave them a 3-month notice, okay? Because I did a lot in that company and they had to find about 3 people to fulfill the one position that I was doing, okay? I gave them 3 months. And in those 3 months, y'all, I drove to work every day, nervous, but happy. And on that last day, when it was time for me to go, and I left that job, y'all, when I walked out of there and I gave them my key, it was just like everything that I was feeling inside, any pains I had, everything just dissipated, you guys. So what happened? I got up, and this is where my health journey started, like the physical health. I was always going to the gym, but now it got to the point where I got up every morning because I said, when I get up, I want to be able to lay down and think about what I want to do for the day. So that's when I got up and I said, you know what? I'm going to go to the forest. And I'm going to start doing forest walks, because I knew about the healing properties. The forest, let me tell you something, it may be metaphysical or spiritual, whatever, but the forest is like the hospital for us. Okay. Take your out there in the forest. Okay. I'm telling you, go out there in the forest. It's literally like the hospital for us. Okay. So anywho, I got up every day and I started doing forest walks. So here I am, y'all. And I'm like, I don't resign from my job, y'all. And granted, I was a little uncomfortable because, like I said, now everything is going to fall on Bay. You know what I'm saying? And he was okay with it. Like, he really was not stressed. I thought he was going to be mad or angry or, you know, confused, or I thought it was going to cause conflict in my house. I didn't know. I put everything on the line. Okay. And then all of a sudden, one day, I said, you know what? I'm going to start my own business. And listen, I started my own business at the end of 2018. I started my business. I remember it was like December of 2018, right? Not only that, when I started my business, my house burnt down. Okay, the same month, my house burnt down. We went to Miami, and while we were in Miami, it was Thanksgiving time. We were in Miami, and my neighbor's house caught fire from Thanksgiving, right? Their house caught fire, and then the fire spickered, okay, flicked right onto my house and burnt my whole damn house down. Okay, so both of our house burnt down. So while I'm in Miami chilling with the family for Thanksgiving, y'all, my house was burning down. So I just resigned. Okay, and now I ain't got no damn house. Okay, so literally when we came back from Miami, we had to check into a hotel. As soon as we got back, we had to check straight into a hotel and was living out of a hotel. So when I tell y'all, I've been through some things, baby, that God say, listen, I don't care. I'm going to allow the devil to test you. That's what he told me. I'm going to give the devil authority, okay, authorization to test the out of you. Because I got some for you that you ain't going to believe, okay? And I had to go through them tests. That's why I say, y'all, regardless of what it is. So now me and my family living in a hotel. We don't have a place to stay, okay? And I'm not working. So after the house burns down, you guys, like I say, I'm trying to focus on starting my business and all of this stuff. It was so much to distract me. So I was uncomfortable living in a hotel. Of course, we had insurance. All right. So, and then the neighbors had insurance. So their insurance ended up having to pay out. And trust me, that was very nice. Okay. It was a very nice payout, right? Enough for me to start my business, y'all. I got the money I needed to start my business. Okay. And to get another home and all of this stuff. And, you know, I got a lot of stuff. We were good. Okay. We weren't hurting for nothing. So, and I started my business, you guys. And I remember the first month, it was January of 2019, y'all. I started out on an Etsy shop and I made $125. Listen, you couldn't tell me nothing. You couldn't tell me nothing, y'all, because I made this on my own. Like, this was my product, okay, that was selling. This was me promoting my own product. This was my business. You couldn't tell me nothing. When I say gratitude, honey, I made $125. And my husband was like, I was like, well, maybe I could pay something. He was like, keep that. He was like, just invest it back in your business if you want to do that. Nah, keep that. But all of 2019, I was promoting my business. I had an opportunity to live my life, you guys. I traveled all over the world. I was doing seminars and, you know, promoting and selling my product. And I tell you guys, no lie, this is just about the 2019 issue. That was the first year in my life I saw six figures from me. Okay. Now, I don't like the tax part of that, but that was the first year of my life. And God said, I'm going to give you that. But look at the sacrifice that I had to make. Look at the faith that I had to hold on to. When God told me to leave that job, you guys, there was nothing in the world that was showing me that I was going to have a business, start a business, or make more money with my own business than I was making with anybody I ever worked for. And like I told you, I was working 3 jobs, 3 positions in that one company. They had to fulfill 3 different people to do what I was doing. Okay. So I had 3 positions that I was working and they wasn't paying me a quarter of what it was that I was doing in that job, in that company. So y'all going to have the faith. Okay. I don't care what the issue is. I don't care what it is that you're going through. Even if it's health wise, you're going to have the faith. You're going to have to let some things go, baby. There's some foods that you eating that you can't eat that no more. Okay, there's some things that you drinking, you can't drink that no more. That's why I told you guys when I started saying Don Julio, I was drinking Remy. Excuse me, that was my drink. Dark liquor, Remy. I was drinking gin. Why was I drinking gin? Because my grandma drank gin. Because my mama drank gin. That was the drink of our family. My auntie drank gin. That's what our family drink. And guess what? According to my blood type, gin gives me diabetes. Guess what my grandma died from? A diabetic coma. Okay, and my great grandma had a stroke, diabetic stroke, sent her into a stroke, and then she went into a coma. Everybody drinking gin because that's what we're teaching each other to do. So guess what old Sighren had to do? I had to leave that gin alone. Okay. So even certain alcohols, you guys, can contribute towards medical issues because, again, it's something that you're putting in your body that your body doesn't recognize it. So your body don't know what to do with it. So it's going to store it as fat and it's going to store it as trauma within the body. Okay. So we have to make sure that we are properly educated on what it is that we need to do. Okay, what it is that we should be doing. And y'all, honestly, this is the level up. The level up is, do you know your blood type? When people talk to me, y'all, that's why I really don't get frustrated, because I'd be like, girl, you don't even know your blood type. Why would I be arguing with you? And nothing against nobody who don't, but I'm just saying, seriously, there are higher levels to this. And Sighren is going to get y'all to that next level, seriously. Okay, to the point where doctors are going to be asking you questions. Doctors are going to be, kind of consulting with you. When you step in that doctor's office, you go in there and you know what the hell you're talking about, okay? When it comes to certain aspects of your life, they're going to be asking, well, literally, y'all, my doctor asked me questions for her other patients. Seriously, she don't tell me no names and numbers. She'd be like, I have a patient that, what do you think I should do? I love you, doc. I love you, doc. Seriously. Okay, everywhere I go. For those of us who get gray hair, I'm telling you how you can stop getting gray hair. The reason we're getting gray hair is because low iron. The older you get, the less iron you have in your body. It is important that you take iron, but the iron that we get from over the counter, it's just like that sugar. It's a man-made version, and then there's also a plant-based version where they get the iron from plants. But are we plants? So this is why when you start to take that iron, what happens? You get constipated like a mug. Okay, you get constipated like a mug. So what happens? Majority of us are iron deficient. We're very much so anemic and things of that nature because we're putting things in our body that go against its natural rhythm. It goes against its natural form. Okay, let me see if you guys have any questions. Anybody have any questions, y'all? Okay, I know we were supposed to talk about weight loss, but we would do that on Wednesday, y'all, because these topics can go on and on and on. And it's so much I haven't said, and it's so much that I need to say. Shout out to the planet, honey. Shout out to the planet for coming through and doing your thing. Shout out to y'all. Y'all be showing so much love, man. Okay. Let me see what you guys are saying, y'all. The QR code, yes. And remember, clean them fruit, y'all. I show y'all on my vlogs. Baking soda, and you want to get an actual baking soda. Do not get the kind in that little orange kind of box. No. You want to get a kind by Red Mill, okay? REDMILL. That is the brand that you want to get. I've shown y'all this on my vlogs as well. I wish I knew the name of the vlog where I showed y'all. You can go to Whole Foods and get it majority of the time. But it's a brand called Red Mill. It is real baking soda, nothing else. That other thing that we buy, the one that they present to us, it has other things inside of it, okay, to distort the frequency of the actual baking soda. But the brand, which is Red Mill, it is made out of 100% baking soda. So when you clean your vegetables, you definitely want to make sure that you're using Red Mill baking soda along with vinegar and water, and that will get all of your pesticides, okay? All of that E. coli, that will get all of that stuff off of the outer layer of your fruits and vegetables. Question, what about plant-based foods? Is organic better or just go to the farmer's market? So honestly, they made it legal for a company to purchase the use of the word organic. It doesn't mean it's organic, but I can purchase from the folk the authority to put the word organic on my product, even if it is not organic. Do more research on that, okay? I always want you guys to double down on everything I say. Do your research, you'll be surprised. So if it says organic, the best thing you can do is turn that bottle over and look, does it say made with carrots, apples, you know what I'm saying? Or all of that other stuff, right? Because the use of the word organic, that was back in probably late 90s, early 2000s, where they actually sold, you can buy the use of the word organic on your product. So I wouldn't recommend looking for it to say organic as a way to solidify it. But I would definitely say, read the back of the ingredients on everything that you buy. Plant-based foods. Let's talk about the trick of the word or the use plant-based, because this is how a lot of us get tricked into it. Okay. When we think of like a warehouse, let's say where they make Tyson, right? Tyson has a warehouse. All of these companies, they have a warehouse. Another name for the warehouse is called the plant. Remember, that's our Chicago plant. That's our Detroit plant. That's our Florida plant. It's called plant. So when it says plant-based, it doesn't mean the flower grown from the ground. They're talking about plant-based, meaning it's made inside of a plant, more than likely a huge laboratory, which then turns it into a square or something, and then they put it on a machine and then they cut it into different things and things of that nature. So when it says plant-based, that can be a trick, a play on words to make you think it's coming from an actual plant that grows out of the ground. But there's a possibility. Now, I'm not going to lock this in because I don't want to get, how I be. Okay, they're allegedly, but y'all know what it is. Allegedly, when we hear the word plant-based, you guys, we're not talking about actual plants. We're talking about the other plant, okay? Meaning like a factory or things of that nature. So there's a play on words here that we have to make sure that we are aware of. I'm going to say this. If you want to eat meat, eat meat. If you don't want to eat meat, don't eat meat. Eating plant-based meats and things of that nature, it makes no sense. You cannot turn plants into meat. Okay? That's just straight up. That is just something that is a play on our minds, a play on our psyche. Don't eat meat if you don't want to eat meat. Now, what I'm going to tell you is, like I said, once we get into the members and all of that stuff, there are certain blood types that should eat meat. Okay. Why is it that you should eat certain meats? Is because there's certain iron, there's certain, there are certain things inside of these meats that are good for you that you cannot get, okay, from the food that we have in the markets. Okay. You can't get it from plants. And for example, I always say, if you send your kid to the daycare, and let's say your kid is a vegan, right? Your kid, according to their blood type, they should be a vegan. So you're going to go to the daycare and say, hey, little Timmy cannot eat meat. Okay, here's little Timmy salads, fruits, vegetables, but no meat for little Timmy, right? So when God sent us here, when we all came here, we all came with a list of instructions that says this one should eat meat, this one should not eat meat. If this one should eat meat, these are the type of meats that we eat. So according to my blood type, I know that there were certain meats that I can eat and certain meats that I can't eat. I know that now. I didn't know that back then, but I know that now, right? After doing all of the research. So before you try to cut out meats, look at your blood type and see if you are a specific blood type that should not eat meat or that can go without eating meats. This is why when you do the history on vegans, people who have gone straight vegan, we don't get the full story. There are so many of them that have passed on. They are no longer with us. Why? Because you think, oh my God, they were healthy. I don't get it. They ate everything. They were not healthy because there were certain nutrients inside of some of the animals that we're supposed to take in. And that's the only way we're going to get it, right? But if you're lacking that, then your body becomes deficient and then dis-ease can reside within the body. The body will then start to defend itself, okay, and fight itself, okay, because you're not getting the nutrients that it needs. So to go vegan, that's why you guys don't hear me saying, oh, go vegan or go, I would say don't eat a lot of meats, but if you eat the right meats, then I would say that, you should have a better health, okay? Possibly experience a better health. Let me put that way, because I don't want to make it look like I'm giving y'all medical advice and all of that stuff, y'all, okay? We're just talking. And like I said, once again, this is all for entertainment purposes only, right? So yeah, plant-based foods, girl. Not even. That's like the fake sugar. That's like stevia and all of that stuff. It's made inside of a plant, okay? And it has zero nutritional value, okay? Allegedly, right? But you can go to the farmers markets. When we say the farmers market, you want to make sure it's kind of like family-based. It's not big. HEB was once a farmers market, a family-based farmers market, but they eventually sold out to the chain gang. But you want to make sure it's small base, okay? It's not big. They don't have a lot of product and things of that nature. A lot of places, I feel like they're buying the use of farmers market, so I would say be very careful with that too. Because in Georgia, when I went to the farmers market, they had it was just like a Whole Foods. It was huge. It was called the farmers market there. And a lot of the stuff that they sold in there was not all natural, okay? Let me see. I had the same thing with my thyroid. It went in remission. Thank God. Yes. Shout out to you, honey. Yes. Thank you for this info, sis. Please keep letting your light shine. Oh, thank you. All right. Hello, Sighren in chat. Hey, Alicia. Hey, y'all. Thank you, Sighren. I'm so glad I found your channel. Oh, I'm glad y'all found me too, y'all. I'm coming out of the dark. Hey, Sighren. Y'all know I will try. You're so right. Your body does not forget what you have put it through. It doesn't. Yes, you're right about that. I have 3 autoimmune conditions. It's tiring as hell. I've been on my journey learning what works. Yeah, those autoimmune things, y'all. Like I say, we'll have deeper conversations, okay, to specify different reasons behind certain things. When it came to me, I believe what I've learned, okay, and being on my journey, I believe a very critical part of my thyroid issue was because I wasn't using my throat chakra. I told you guys before that I was not the one to go live. I had nothing to say to people like, you're not going to pass me the mic. I'm like, When I walked into a room, I was the one that kind of sat in the back. I was not as vocal as I am today. I was not going live. I was not talking to people. I wasn't doing consultations, counseling. I was not in my right path. You know what I'm saying? And the more I started to work on myself and heal myself and get more and more closer to my right path, that's when I noticed all of the issues that I was dealing with did start to dissipate. So there's a lot more to this, like I said, that we'll be discussing, you guys. But we will come back on here and we will discuss more of the weight loss, okay, on Wednesday. And we're going to get back on the topic of relationships because we definitely want to talk about some healthy things in regards to relationships as well that we need to know. But I really, truly appreciate every last one of you. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye, y'all.